My name is Sean Walker. I'm a Principal Product Success Architect here at ServiceNow. Today I'm going to be talking to you about one of the advanced inventory features, distribution channels. Distribution channels link two geographically related stockrooms together. Configuring your stockroom to use distribution channels can help with the fulfillment steps of the request process and any other processes that require there to be inventory transferred from one stockroom to another. Distribution channels allow inventory managers to predetermine which stockroom should be used to transfer stock to and from. They also allow for preference order to be established so that additional stockrooms can be used should no stock be available in the preferred stockroom. A good example will be if you have a primary stockroom geographically located on the West Coast and also have local stockrooms throughout the West Coast. When the user requests a new hardware asset, the fulfiller will try and source the new assets from local stock, which is the stockroom located at the same location as the user. If local stock is not available, the fulfiller will have the option to fulfill the request by issuing a transfer order. When this option is selected, a list of stockrooms available is presented to the fulfiller. When the distribution channels have been configured, the fulfiller will only see the list of available assets from the distribution channel stockrooms. This helps the fulfiller in determining the best source to transfer assets from. Shipping assets from a distribution channel that is geographically logical usually provides cheaper and quicker ship times for the assets. In this example, if there's no local stock and no stock available in a distribution channel, it could likely make more sense to purchase new hardware assets for this request rather than transferring an asset from a stockroom on the East Coast or even overseas. Let me jump into an instance and demonstrate this in action. Okay, so I'm now logged into a Vancouver instance with hardware asset management installed, and I'm going to show you how distribution channels work from the fulfiller side. The first thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to impersonate a user. So I'm going to impersonate a user from Ottawa. And then I'm actually going to submit a service request as this user. So this user is looking for a new laptop and they would like an Apple MacBook Pro 15. So they're going to go ahead and order this laptop. And a request has been created. Now I'm going to end my impersonation and go in as the fulfiller. So the fulfiller is going to go to the hardware asset workspace so they can see the request. So I go into procurement requests and I can see that this request has been created for the Ottawa user. It's pending approval. Now normally this would go through the proper approval chain and Eric would have to approve this. So I'm just going to go ahead and pretend I'm Eric and approve this request so it moves through to the next phase. Okay, so once the request has been approved, a catalog task has been created to be able to source the asset. So the fulfiller needs to determine, do I have any stock of this asset or do I need to order any? So I'm going to click on the source request. And we can see here, I'm just going to remove that check mark, sorry. Where you can see here that there is no local stock for this particular request. So that means that the fulfiller needs to make the decision on whether they transfer stock from another location or they create a purchase order. So right now in the system, I don't have any distribution channels configured. So what my options are going to basically be any stockroom globally that has inventory of this particular asset type. So you can see the fulfiller could pick something, maybe they pick the Southern California warehouse and they want to transfer the asset from the Southern California warehouse. The problem with this is that this is in a different country and it's also on a pretty much completely different coast. So the ship time is going to take a long time to get from Southern California all the way up to Ottawa in Canada. So not only that, it would have to go through customs. So really choosing this option is not a viable option. So if fulfillers aren't really sure which one they should pick, the inventory managers can go ahead and set up distribution channels which will help them with that decision-making process. So I'm just going to cancel this and not fulfill this request this time. Oops. And what we're going to do now is we are going to go in and we are going to set up distribution channels so you can see how they behave. So I'm going to go into my stockrooms, and this user was located in Ottawa. And the Ottawa stockroom, as you can see, has no local stock of anything. So this is where I can choose to select my distribution channels and say, okay, what's my main distribution point for this stockroom? So I know I'm in Ottawa, so I'm going to set up a new channel stockroom for the Canada East stockroom. This stockroom is located in Toronto, so it's a short 3.5-hour drive from Ottawa. So this is the closest stockroom to be able to fulfill requests from. So I'm going to give it a rank of 1 since it's the closest stockroom. And I'm going to save this. So now that I have this set up, I can come back to my request and choose my source request. And what I'm going to do is enable this option to source through distribution channels. And you can see there's still nothing in the local stockroom because Ottawa doesn't have anything. But now it's gone from, what was it, 10 or so transferable stock down to 1. And when I hit the transfer button, it automatically populates the only stockroom, which is the Canada East stockroom. And it will create a transfer order from that preferred stockroom. I'm going to cancel this again and just show you what you can do in terms of orders of precedence. So if I come back to my Ottawa stockroom and I want to set up a secondary stockroom, so okay, if there's none available in the Canada East stockroom, the next logical choice would be the Canada West stockroom. It's considerably farther away. However, there's no international borders to have to cross, and so you don't have to clear customs and all that kind of stuff. So these are really my only 2 options for other stockrooms listed in Canada. So I'm going to set this as the second precedent because it is farther away, so we really don't want to pick from that location if we don't have to. So I'm going to hop back over to my request. Again, I'm going to hit the source request, and now you can see there's 2 transferable stock available. So if I hit the transfer button, I now have the option to pick either the Canada East or the Canada West stockroom. One more thing I wanted to show you is just let me reverse the rank, just so you can see how the rank affects which one will be displayed. So I'm going to go back to my number 1 and we're going to change this to a 2 and save that. And then I'm going to come back to my Canada West stockroom and I'm going to change this to be the primary. Again, we wouldn't really want to do this. I just want to show you how the precedence order works. So again, now when I come back to my request and I hit my source request, I can see still 2 transferable assets, but now the order is reversed. So you can set up a process for your fulfillers to make sure they're always picking the first stockroom in the list, which is going to be the most logical based off of what you've determined to be the quickest, the cheapest, the best transfer methods. So that's how you would configure distribution channels for stockrooms and set the order of precedence so you can help your fulfillers really fulfill inventory from the best locations that makes the most sense for your users and financially for your company. I hope you found this thing helpful. Thank you.